In 2025, the Philippines sets its sights on a monumental milestone with the signing of its largest budget to date, 6.33 trillion pesos. This record-breaking allocation represents a bold commitment to addressing the nation's most pressing needs, from education to infrastructure, healthcare, and national defense. But what does this mean for the country's future? Can such an ambitious financial plan truly transform the lives of millions? Or will it fall short of its lofty goals? At the heart of this unprecedented budget is education, which receives a staggering 924.7 billion pesos, making it the highest funded sector. This isn't just a nod to the Philippine Constitution's mandate to prioritize education. It's a recognition of the critical role education plays in shaping the nation's future. From building classrooms to improving teacher salaries and providing digital learning tools, the funds aim to bridge the educational gaps that widened during the pandemic. Interestingly, the education allocation alone surpasses the GDP of some Pacific Island nations, emphasizing its scale and potential impact. However, implementing this vision remains a challenge. Questions about equitable distribution, particularly in rural and underserved areas, loom large. Will these funds reach the remote schools that need them most, or will they be absorbed by the operational costs of urban centers? Meanwhile, infrastructure takes center stage with a whopping 1.91 trillion pesos allocation. This sector, often dubbed the engine of economic growth, aims to connect provinces, improve flood control systems, and support disaster resilience in a country frequently battered by typhoons. To put this into perspective, the flood control budget alone could fill over 70,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools with rainwater systems. It's a testament to the government's commitment to tackling long-standing vulnerabilities. But not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that such heavy investments in infrastructure need stronger oversight to prevent corruption and ensure projects are completed on time. Mismanagement of funds could lead to delays and inflated costs, undermining the very goals the budget seeks to achieve. Healthcare also sees a significant boost with 349 billion pesos allocated to universal healthcare coverage and the enhancement of public health facilities. The pandemic exposed critical weaknesses in the healthcare system, and this allocation aims to address those gaps. Funds will go toward building more hospitals, purchasing essential equipment, and training healthcare workers. However, with the country still grappling with an uneven distribution of healthcare services, the challenge lies in ensuring that these improvements reach remote and marginalized communities. While these sectors see considerable support, the allocation for military modernization raises eyebrows. At 35 billion pesos, the defense budget falls short of expectations, especially in light of growing regional tensions in the West Philippine Sea. The discovery of a suspected Chinese submarine drone in Philippine waters has only heightened concerns about the nation's preparedness to protect its sovereignty. Analysts question whether the current funding is sufficient to bolster maritime defenses and modernize the armed forces of the Philippines. Economists view the 2025 budget as a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a bold move to accelerate growth and reduce poverty, with experts predicting that poverty rates could drop from 16.7% to below 10% by 2030 if the funds are used effectively. On the other hand, the budget's reliance on sustained economic growth and external stability leaves little room for error. Global inflation, rising interest rates, and geopolitical tensions could disrupt the government's plans, forcing policymakers to adjust their strategies. One of the most critical factors in the success of this budget is governance. Transparency and accountability will play pivotal roles in ensuring that every peso allocated translates into tangible benefits for Filipinos. The Commission on Audit and other oversight bodies face the daunting task of monitoring this massive budget, particularly in high-risk sectors like infrastructure and defense. Amidst the optimism and skepticism, there are some lighter, thought-provoking aspects to consider. For instance, did you know that the infrastructure allocation could theoretically create millions of jobs? Every 1 billion pesos spent on infrastructure is estimated to generate up to 14,000 jobs, potentially transforming the lives of unemployed Filipinos. And speaking of scale, if the 6.33 trillion pesos budget were converted into peso coins, it could circle the earth more than 50 times. As the nation looks ahead, the 2025 budget represents both an opportunity and a challenge. It's a reflection of the government's ambition to build a more resilient, equitable, and prosperous Philippines. Yet, It also serves as a reminder of the complexities involved in managing such a vast sum of money in a country with diverse needs and aspirations. The question now is whether this historic allocation can truly deliver on its promises. Will the investments in education produce a globally competitive workforce? Will the infrastructure projects connect isolated communities and drive economic growth? And will the healthcare reforms ensure that every Filipino has access to quality medical services? As the Philippines embarks on this ambitious journey, the world watches closely. The 2025 budget is more than just a financial plan. It's a statement of intent, a blueprint for the future of a nation striving to overcome challenges and unlock its full potential. Only time will reveal the true impact of this monumental decision. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this valuable, please show your appreciation by giving a thumbs up and subscribing to OHA News Asia, your trusted source for knowledge always at your fingertips.